Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Beer Budget Moto. I'm Shane, and today we're going to be doing a review on my 2022 American trailer. It's an 18-foot car trailer, 16-foot with a 2-foot dove, pretty standard car trailer. A little while back I did a review on my 2021 Griffin dump trailer, so if you're new to the channel, go back and check that out if you're interested in the dump trailer content. I did a 1-year review on that trailer because it is essentially the cheapest 7x12 dump trailer you're going to find, and I wanted to do a review on how it held up after 1 year of ownership. So I used that trailer for my business. I also own this 2022 American trailer, again 18-foot car trailer, and again this was purchased as kind of the cheapest 18-foot car trailer that I could find. So again, I wanted to do a 1-year review, kind of show you what I've found, issues with it, things that are going on with it after 1 year of ownership. And to be honest, I've never even hauled a car with it. I bought it primarily to use as a secondary trailer for my junk removal business, as well as to tow my Can-Am X3 side-by-side, which only weighs about 1,500 pounds, but I wanted to have the versatility of a car trailer. So that's what we got here. Anyway, here is the trailer. You can see it's pretty standard 18-foot car trailer, twin 3,500 pound axles with a 2-foot dovetail. And just want to go over some of the things that I've noticed with it after 1 year of ownership. I did buy this trailer actually last May. It's now May 16th, 2023. I bought this trailer last May 2022. I don't remember the exact day, but anyway, I've had it for 1 year. It has been sitting here in my yard outside uncovered for that entire year. I do live in Pennsylvania, up here in the Northeast, so we didn't get a lot of snow this past year, and I didn't really have it out on any salt roads or anything like that, but it does live in a northern climate, so bear that in mind. As you can see, it's an American trailer. This is actually the name of the dealership that I bought the trailer from. Trailer dealership is American Trailer out in Bedford, Pennsylvania, off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And this is not made by the dealership, but it is made by the company that they buy a lot of trailers from. And the way it was explained to me was, I guess if you buy so many trailers from the manufacturer, as a dealer, you can kind of put your name on their trailer and call it your trailer. So this is the dealership name, but it's labeled and titled as American Trailer, although it was built elsewhere. I would venture to say probably somewhere in Canada. But anyway, let's look at some of the things that are going on here. First of all, just quality of workmanship. So here on the tongue, you can see it's got just your standard 2,000 pound capacity tongue jack, hand crank, no wheel, just a flat stock there. All right, you can see like right away overspray on the stickers here. Where they bolted the tongue jack to the actual tongue, can you see how barely those bolts are holding on to that tongue jack? There's no washer. There should be a washer here. The holes in the tongue jack are pretty large and allow for adjustment, and these bolts, the bolt heads are very close to being able to just pull right out of there. They should have used washers on this. Again, I've never used this trailer to tow an actual trailer yet, but I feel like if you tried to have a car, you know, a 6,000 pound car on the trailer and needed to unhitch for some reason and leave the car on the trailer and have all the tongue weight on here, I have a feeling that these might separate without a washer in there. So that's kind of the first thing. Secondly, you can kind of see just how they did this here. I apologize if the lighting is pretty poor, but here's how they supported the tongue jack on the bottom. They just welded in 2 cross braces here to kind of prevent the tongue jack from being able to twist. It's not actually, these cross braces aren't actually welded to the tongue jack at all. They're not touching the tongue jack, but they're maybe an eighth of an inch or so away from either side of the tongue jack, just kind of to, I guess, prevent it from you know, tilting side to side if you did have a load on it. So again, that's one thing. The box I added, so we won't go over the box very much. This is just an Amazon tongue trailer box that I added myself. So the quality of the sticker and the faded paint and stuff on that, I'm not worried about. That was to be expected from a cheap Amazon box. It does suit my needs, holds the straps and everything that I need it to, and it works just fine for me. The main thing that you're going to notice on this front rail here on the car trailer is how all of this paint is just, it's gone. I mean, all the way down the top side, the front side here, gone. Even back behind where the box is, where, you know, some people might say, well, you're getting stone chips here and it's chipping away. No, I mean, this is behind the box. The box would protect this from any stone chips, and you can clearly see that it's just peeling away. I mean, it's just flaking, peeling. I just take my finger and just basically rub it off at this point. And that's all the way around the back side even. Again, just peeling, flaking. And this is the paint, and obviously, I mean, you can see bare steel underneath it, so they didn't use any primer. Who knows, you know, if they prepped the metal at all, if they got the oil off of it from the manufacturing, you know, process, or what. It's really hard to say, but the prep on it obviously was terrible. And the reason I'm making this video today actually is because I have a little bit of free time, and I'm going to be sanding that bar down and priming it, painting it, and clear coating it to try and make it look a little bit better. I'm probably going to have to do that every year at this point, just to kind of maintain and keep up on this trailer. It does go off-road with me. Again, I said I use it for my side-by-side, so it does see dirt roads, gravel roads, pretty much every time I use it. So it's not a show trailer. I didn't want a show trailer. I'm not hauling a $80,000 you know, sports car or anything on this trailer. I bought a trailer for what I needed, but still, out the door last year, a year ago when I bought this trailer, out the door I was still all but $4,500. I mean, I was $4,250, $4,300, something like that, out the door, tax, title, and tags. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. It's the cheapest car trailer, 18-foot car trailer I could find, but I still spent over $4,000 on it. It's not like it was a, you know, $2,000 trailer. I mean, it's still a $4,000 trailer, and you'd expect after 1 year to not have to repaint the trailer, right? You can see here, you know, the bluing and the weld spatter here along this bar. You can see where they had the tires from, you know, if you've ever seen trailers be transported, they get stacked on top of each other with all the wheels and tires off, and then they get assembled at their dealership. So where the tires were sitting for all the trailers, wherever this trailer was stacked in the lineup, it left tire indentations in the front of the trailer here. Another funny thing, I'll show you when we get to the other side. I mean, just paint wise, you'll see here on the stake pockets, chipping. This one here's already cracked and about to be chipping. This one's chipping, cracked all the way along. This one's chipping, right? I mean, everyone on this side. This one's chipping, cracked and chipping here. So not the best quality. Also, I wanted to show you the wheels and tires they used, pretty standard. I've never heard of these this brand before. It's literally just called Rainier. Rainier ST. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So a standard, you know, what are these, 14s, 15s, standard 15-inch kind of wagon wheel, black steel wheel, and trailer tire, no big deal. You know, double leaf spring suspension, again, pretty standard. Up in here, not terrible. I do get a lot of mud up in here, but I try to pressure wash it a good bit to keep it from rusting out prematurely. But one thing I wanted to show you guys was, and again, I apologize if the light's really bad here, but can you see the leaf spring bracket, how it's not centered on the frame of the trailer? It's not the full width of the trailer, and if you can see that, I mean, the leaf spring bracket is probably 2 inches wide, and the frame, the bottom channel here, the frame is maybe 1.25 inches. So the extra 3/4 of an inch is just kind of hanging off in no man's land, right? And you'd think if you were going to do that, that you would center the leaf spring bracket under the frame rail to prevent any kind of torque twist or anything like that, going around corners and stuff like that, because this whole top side now is just unsupported, right? I don't know, maybe someone can tell me in the comments if that's standard on trailers. My dump trailer I don't believe is like that. I actually should probably check, but I mean, that just seems like a terrible idea to me. Look at the wiring here for the trailer. So it's not tucked up in the frame, right? It's stapled to the deck boards in a very scattered, sporadic way. I'll show you the other side here. So I did have to actually modify this, so where you see the heat shrink, that's not factory. I actually used the heat shrink because when I bought the trailer, I didn't realize it. The guy at the dealership helped me check the lights when I hooked it up to my truck for the first time, and he said, you know, yeah, left turn signal, right turn signal, good, yep, you're all good. So I took his word for it, you know, and we went about our way. Come to find out that driving home from riding one day, some of our friends were behind us in their truck with their side-by-side, and I went around him and changed lanes to get back in the right lane in front of him, and he calls me up and says, hey man, you put your right turn signal on to get back over in the right lane, and now you are your left turn signal is on. So they actually had the turn signals wired backwards, so I had to fix that myself. Not a huge deal, but you know, again, when you're spending $4,000 on a trailer, you don't expect to have to rewire the turn signals. You can see, I mean, this is a factory connection here. Exposed wire, crimp connections, self-tapped into the frame, exposed wire there sticking out of the crimp connections, no heat shrink. You know, just again, kind of crap quality, if you ask me. I mean, it's really not that hard to wire a trailer. You know, they wired it obviously after the deck was on the trailer. Why wouldn't you wire the trailer before you put the deck on in the manufacturing process? You could do the whole job from the top side of the trailer, and you run all the wiring through the C channel of the frame. You don't staple it to the underside of the deck boards. Now, 5 years from now, if I have to put a new deck on this trailer, I'm going to have to basically rewire the whole thing, because otherwise I'm going to have to go through and pull out all the staples that are stapled into the bottom of the deck boards, and then the wiring is going to be really long in weird places, and it's just kind of stupid, in my opinion. I mean, why would you do that on a brand new trailer? Why would you staple the wires to the bottom of the deck board, run it through the frame, put your deck on last, and tuck it all away, right? Anyway, another thing I wanted to show you guys was, you can see here at the dovetail where this top rail, this top C channel is bent, right? There's no seam here, it's not welded, so they bent this, which means that they notched the bottom bent it down. They welded a gusset here, which is great. It's actually welded all the way around. That's perfect. But what is weird is that down here, and again, I don't know if you can see that or how well you can see that, but this whole bottom is not welded. This whole bottom gap here, I mean, I can all but stick half my finger up in there. Not welded, not gusseted on the bottom. You can tell they kind of tried to weld it right here with these gooble gob welds they got going on, but you know, what is that? I mean, why wouldn't you weld that? Seriously. You can see, if you can kind of see down the line there, I mean, they used, what are those, 2-inch, 2.5-inch self tappers to anchor the deck boards to the frame of the trailer. I mean, these are sticking out the bottom a good 1.5 inches or so. I mean, and they're all over the place. I mean, this one's barely touching. This one here is not even through the frame. It's through the wood. Totally missed the frame. I mean, why? Why use a 2.5-inch long self tapper like that? I mean, they're actually probably longer because they went through the deck board, then through the frame, and then ended up in sticking out the bottom that long. So they're probably more like 4-inch self tappers. I mean, what is that, guys? Come on. You'll see I did add E-track to the trailer, grade 8 hardware through the areas where there's a steel cross member underneath, and then just self tappers down into the wood in various other places for a little extra support. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I use Vulcan tire straps then to anchor down my machine, but I wanted to have some adjustability in where I placed it. That's why I use these. Plus this will come in handy for tying down other things in the future, right? I've got a bunch of E-track, just holes there, ratchet strap loops that I can plop in wherever I want, tie things down. That way nothing's rubbing on the stake pockets or anything like that. On this side, again, you'll see, right, not as much chipping on the stake pockets on this side for one reason or another. The other side, maybe because it sits in the sun more and this side's more shaded. I mean, this one here is pretty bad, but this side of the trailer does get more shade, so maybe that's why the other side is cracking out more. This side, you know, this one here is pretty bad. Back here, this one's actually okay, and this one's cracking out pretty bad. One funny thing I wanted to show you guys, it's not really funny, it's sad actually, but so if you look at this stake pocket, pretty standard stake pocket, right? I can get basically all 4 of my fingers in there, right, with just a little bit of wiggle room. 4 fingers, right? Standard stake pocket, right? Now look at this, right here, all the way down. I get my whole hand in there on this side, right? This one, nope, so I got half my hand. Why? Because this stake pocket is not the standard size of a 2x4 or a standard stake for a stake body. So all the other ones, this one, that one, every other stake pocket on the trailer, the right size. This one, not the right size. So I have some stake pocket D-rings in my box here that I bought for if I wanted to tie down a trailer, tie down a car, because I would not use the E-track to tie down a 5,000 or 6,000 pound car. I would use stake pocket D-rings that are welded to the trailer instead of just bolted into the wood, right? Makes sense. But now I can't put a stake pocket D-ring here if I needed to, because this is not a standard stake pocket size. So I mean, again, what kind of quality is that? Okay, I mean, how do you even do that? Obviously there is no quality control or quality check on that after the fact, right? Also, and again, I don't know if this is normal or not, stake pockets are welded on the outside. not at all on the inside. Either side, not welded at all. So, I mean, maybe if they were welded on the inside, you wouldn't be able to get a stake down in there. Maybe that's the premise behind it, but it seems to me like maybe welding them all the way around would obviously make them a good bit stronger for tie down points. So again, someone else who has a different trailer, a better quality trailer, let me know if your stake pockets are welded all the way down through or not. I'm curious about that. Diamond plate fenders, not terrible, although you will see again big bald spot here. I mean, that's bare metal and rust and then paint, right? Just chips off, no primer, nothing there, just literally painted right over top of the metal. So kind of crappy. We do have all LED lights, not bad. We've got pull-out ramps in the back. They fit down in this channel here. This rear section here, okay, basically a big piece of channel that they just use to cap off the back of the frame. Look at this, not welded. Little tiny spot weld there. All the rest of it not welded. Not even welded actually on the bottom. So yeah, there's that. And again, right here at the dovetail bend, you can see gusset and then nothing there. I mean, I can take this stick and just shove it right up in here, right? All the way. Well, not all the way, because there's something in there, but it's not a weld. I mean, look at that gap. What is that, right? Garbage. Last thing that I wanted to point out here before I wrap this video up, it's getting kind of long. You'll see on the other side how they did this here. This is a trailer hitch pin, right? Just a normal trailer hitch pin, spring loaded. This is what they provided to hold the ramps in place when I bought the trailer. I had two of these. I had this one here, and I had one on this side here. Why do you think this one is not here anymore? This one's not here because going up a steep hill at about 40 miles an hour, that clip that was on this side let loose, and my steel ramp slid out the back of the trailer and slid down the road about 60 feet before coming to a stop. Luckily, I had my window partially down and I heard it, and I was able to stop and get my ramp, which was fine aside from some road rash. But that other hitch pin was gone, and so I've since replaced it with this kind of carabiner type hook, because I just had one in the garage, and it's what I used for now until I get matching replacements for both of them. But yeah, I mean, the trailer ramp locking mechanism let loose on me, and I mean, just why? I mean, does Big Tex or Lamar or anybody else, you know, Texas Pride, are they giving you hitch pins to hold your ramps in place? I don't think so. You know, a carabiner, a spring loaded, you know, clip, something that's a little bit more substantial that can't just pop off, right? So I could have easily lost this ramp, and that would have cost me what, 150 bucks to replace, to have one made, or to buy another set, because where am I going to buy just one, right? So anyway guys, that's where I'm at. Just wanted to give you guys a 1-year review on this trailer. Overall, does it do what it needs to do? Yeah, it does. It does what I need it to do. It hauls, you know, my 15 to 1800 pound side by side, you know, an hour and a half away, sometimes 2.5 hours away, to go riding on a Saturday and have a good time and get it back, right? I could have gotten away with like a 7x12 single axle utility trailer. I wanted a trailer with brakes, and I do anticipate hauling cars in the future, I do flip cars, buy broken cars, fix them up, sell them. So buying broken cars, I've always had to rent dollies or U-Haul trailers. Having my own car trailer would come in great handy. I just haven't had an opportunity to use it for a car yet. Looking at the craftsmanship of the welds and the build quality makes me a little nervous to put a 5,000 pound car on this trailer. The side-by-side, yeah, it's nothing for a 7,000 pound trailer, but the trailer weighs 2,000 pounds. If I put a 5 or 6,000 pound trailer or a car on it, I'm gonna worry. I'm gonna worry about the welds. I'm gonna worry about how sturdy those stake pockets are and stuff like that. And the fact that I've got to paint it already, sand it down, paint it after 1 year, 1 year. And I mean, this didn't just happen a month ago. This was like this in January. I mean, it's gotten worse since then, but this started in like January. I mean, this started after like 6 months of ownership, and I'd only used it 4 times. Again, it's just, and you can see right here, right? Date of manufacturer, May 22. It was brand new when I bought it last year. So there's your manufacturer right there. Cole Region Trailers. Cole Region Trailers is who made it. Sold by American Trailer in Bedford, Pennsylvania. For the record, I did call them and ask them if there was any kind of warranty on the paint, because the trailer did come with a 1 year manufacturer defect warranty. You know how that goes. Basically, it's good for nothing. It looks good on paper when you buy it, but it's good for nothing. So I called them and asked them a couple months ago if there was any kind of warranty on the paint, and of course the answer was no, right? No warranty on the paint. So get yourself a good powder coated trailer. Eventually I'm either going to upgrade this trailer if I find that I use it a lot and can afford a better trailer, or I'm going to basically get it stripped and powder coated and re-welded and toughened up in some areas that it needs it, and rewire it and all of that. And at that point in time, I should have just gone out and bought a nice $7,000 or $8,000 trailer. So again, if this will work for what you need it for, again, similar to like the Griffin dump trailer up there, if this will work for what you need it for about $4,200-$4,300 out the door, tax, title, and tags for a brand new 7,000 pound car trailer. If you're only going to use it a couple times a year, or you're only going to use it to haul 4-wheelers and a side-by-side or something like that, it might work out for you just fine. Don't expect it to last 15 or 20 years. It's probably going to be junk in 5 to 10 if I had to guess, but you get what you pay for. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. If you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. Check me out on my other channel. I'm just starting out. It's called Hustling with Shane. It's how I make money doing side hustles and side jobs, and trying to just make my way here in this new crazy economy, right? So Hustling with Shane, check me out there if you're new. Like and subscribe. Beer Budget Moto. I do reviews and car, motorcycle, side-by-side, repairs, upgrades, modifications, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, like and subscribe. Check me out here. So I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.